Well, like you said, this is my first time, so it's been so lovely being able to witness the culture firsthand. And we've spent so much time on the show, and you do these things and you release them into the world, and you don't really know what the impact is. So it's been so wonderful to be able to connect with people who support our show in Korea and show them our love and appreciation, because we're very grateful for anybody who watches, and to be able to give people hugs and sign things and just be interactive and be able to actively show our appreciation is such a gift. So thank you. Well, it's really exciting, and it felt like a natural progression from kind of our interaction and collaboration during season 1. Season 1, I'm in pretty much every scene, so we were always having conversations about storyline and plot and does this make sense, and there's just a more intense level of involvement, I think, that's required when you're on screen that much. So being able to be a part of these conversations sooner this time around, and have a little bit more knowledge beforehand. As an actor, you're the last one up with the script. They tell you where to stand, and you go and you do your job. So it was really exciting for me, also just as somebody who loves what I do and loves this business. It felt like this secret door had opened up, and it was this whole new world that I hadn't been invited to before. So it was great to have a seat at the table. Yes, I would love to give a thoughtful answer here. I really would, but I don't know. I show up and I do my job. I mean, I guess a lot of this season, because I was interacting with other people, it was nice to be able to play off of talented people like Emma, who were at odds oftentimes, and we also had the wonderful addition of Joanna Lumley, and she added a lot of kind of joy/misery to Wednesday's life. But for me, it's more so you show up on the day and you get a feel for the situation, and as long as you're aware of the character's arc or where she is in that moment in time, these things, they can happen quite naturally.
Well, I think Enid's a bit confused this season because she assumes that her and Wednesday have passed that weird boundary that Wednesday put up in season 1, and because of Wednesday's premonition and pushing her away, I think she doesn't quite understand why Wednesday is pushing her away. So, they kind of butt heads a bit this season. But it's always fun working with Jenna because I feel like we have a natural sort of relationship like that. It always just happens naturally. There's no forcing.
I think to look at art or any sort of television making or filmmaking as a competition is doing everyone a major disservice. We're just so grateful and excited to be able to have a show that plays here. We all started off, we're California kids, you're a Florida kid. We just had no idea that we were going to be able to make things together that would reach an international level. So we're very grateful and excited to be here. Numbers and things like that don't matter if we're able to connect with one person. That's incredible, and we've been fortunate to connect with the world. As far as the second season goes, episode 6, part of the second half, is a very Enid-centric episode, and she's a huge lover and admirer of Korean culture, and we have some songs in there that you guys might appreciate or be familiar with. So I think that's probably something to look forward towards.
What was the question again?
What does your character Enid mean to you, especially considering the fact that she's not your typical lovable girl character?
She means so much to me. I think because she's not your typical lovable girl character. I love that she's weird and she's an outcast, and I love that she's so unapologetically herself. She doesn't care what other people think about her. She can be crazy and weird and wear weird things and all that, and it doesn't matter. And I think that's so important nowadays. These characters represent uniqueness and being yourself and not fitting into what society thinks is normal. So I think that's why they're so widely loved, because I think people truly want to feel that.
Yeah, I'm thinking of your question, but I'm kind of struggling to come up with what a typical lovable girl character is. Do you know? I feel like oftentimes the ones that do resonate true to people are the ones that, go against the grain and, are moving in the opposite direction. I think, originality and a true sense of self is so important, and that it takes a lot of time to develop something like that. So I'm very inspired by these young girls who at their age, it's so easy to fall into the bandwagon mentality, but they don't, and they are themselves. So I'm glad that, maybe young people now in the day and age of social media are able to look at these girls and see the importance of speaking your own mind and, having your own voice, regardless of whether or not people agree with you. But I do think the most lovable ones are the disturbed ones and are the strange ones, and just because we all feel like that, we all have flaws and we all have things wrong with us, and to see that celebrated, it's I think it is one of the more exciting things happening in our world at times.